Welcome back to another episode of How Bout Dem Cowboys. I'm your host, Spud. This is my co-host, Shay.
Hey.
Week 4 is in the books already. Post-game reactions. The Cowboys lose to the Detroit Lions 34-30. Blown lead at the halftime, just like that bird is the lead. We blew the lead, okay? We were winning 20-3 at halftime. But before we get into that, let's talk about Tony Romo's interceptions, which is the really big part of why they won. But later on, I'm going to explain some of the other stuff that happened that could have been prevented. But I'm going to let Shay talk about what she thinks about Tony Romo's interceptions. Tell me. Tell me.
I don't like him. I think that, what was it, last week? I think we talked about his inconsistency with the ball and the interceptions. And I said that they lose games. And this shows that they lose games. Every single touchdown, every single interception led them to score. Before that, they hadn't scored at all. They touched the ball and they did not score. But once we started getting the interceptions, that's how the Lions scored. And hence, that's how they ended up ahead of us.
Well, let's talk about the selective calling. Tony decided to throw the rock the way Tony threw the rock. Now, the only interception I questioned was the very, very first one that he threw. He threw the Bobby Kaufman, and it kind of seemed like there was nobody even within 5 yards where he threw it at. But nevertheless, he threw the rock. And I can expect one interception from Tony every game. You give some, you lose some, and that's kind of like the thing I've accepted from Tony Romo. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
I agree. I can agree with that.
But not 3. The
Unacceptable.
other 2, I kind of understood what Romo was getting at. I wouldn't think a linebacker would jump up like that anyway. And I wouldn't think that the safety would just know when to turn around to get that ball and tip it up in the air. Those are just unfortunate. I mean, it really speaks to how well the Detroit Lions defense played. More so than how bad Tony Romo threw the rock, because Tony was 20 for 23 when he went into the half for 3 touchdowns. He played exceptionally well. He didn't just go in the locker room and just turn it off and say whatever. He kept on grinding the way Tony was grinding. What I am questioning is Jason Garrett's decision to go back out and keep throwing the rock after having the lead 27-3. What did you think?
I think that if you look at the previous week, we were saying how passive he was with certain play calling, and this time he was really, really aggressive, and it showed. And not only that, aggressiveness sometimes can cost us the game. So instead of us running the ball a lot more and just holding on to the lead, we decided to throw it, and that's where the turnovers came in.
Let's talk about some of the defense. For the past couple of weeks, I've been neglecting to give this guy some shout outs, but I'm going to take this time right now to give Sean Lee some shout outs, because Sean Lee has been balling with a capital B. Balling, okay? He's been balling, and I'm really impressed with him, because when we went into the season, I didn't know. I did not know, what to expect. I was like, oh, where's Keith Booking? Put him on the field, because
we're going to miss him.
But every time he gets on the field, he's always around the ball. He's balling. He plays coverage. He blitzes.
He plays it well.
I mean,
too.
he checks tight ends, and I'm really impressed how he went in and tried to lock down Pettigrew, and that's a man beast. Okay, he's a man beast. Calvin Johnson's a man beast. I said last week that Calvin was gonna get his, and he got his, but Dez got his too.
Yeah,
let's talk about Dez, but let's talk about how he got his.
Okay. Well, let me just first say that I'm very, very impressed. One thing that I did say. And I like that I'm saying the things and they're actually going towards doing them. Him and Tony's their link up is just extremely. It's just well. He's playing well. He's coming back. He's showing us like, me being hurt and things like that is not going to have an effect on me. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be the person that y'all thought I was going to be when y'all picked me up. And I'm very, very happy and impressed with that.
Okay. So, Shay, let's talk about one of the things that you were really like. You were in your feelings about this, okay? Let's be real with this. You were in your feelings about the risky TD one we went for in the first quarter on the one
Yeah.
yard line. Instead of kicking the field goal, we decided to go for it. We didn't get it, and we always pondered the decision. Well, had we kicked the field goal, took the 3 points, then maybe we wouldn't have been so pressured to try to score a touchdown. And we could have won by a field goal. Even though I feel like it shouldn't have even gotten that far. But
Yeah, did I?
let's talk about that decision to do that.
I was screaming that all fourth quarter. I was screaming that after the first interception. I wouldn't have thought, and I think everybody can be open enough and honest enough to say that they didn't think that it was a bad call at first. The issue is we didn't get it. We were on the 1 yard line and we did not pick up the touchdown. And there was nothing wrong with that because, of course, they would have to go across the whole field again. But the lead was where it is, so people weren't thinking about that until the end of the game. And it's like, well, if you would have just stopped being so aggressive and just been passive and just kicked the field goal like we would have normally did, we would have won the game. We would have won the game. It would have been by 2 points, but we would have won the game.
Well, Shane, I beg you different, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna explain something to you, and you guys can go back and look at it on YouTube for yourself and look at the highlights. But I want to break down two very, very important plays. And it's not it happened with the interception, but it's what happened after the interception. Is what gets me. Tony on through the first interception, Bobby Carpenter caught it, ran towards the sideline, not, and then there was one broken tackle. There was two.
Mm-hmm.
This linebacker who can't run for, I don't know, I'm not going to get into his physical skills.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to say is he's not physically gifted to be running back for touchdowns for 50, 60 yards, okay? He's not physically gifted. He went to the sideline, took the ball, reversed the other way to the field, and got a touchdown. That bothers me, okay? Because it
That was
shows a
all our
lack
fault.
of effort
Yeah.
after the interception. I don't know where Tony was in this mix, because if I'm anybody who throws an interception, I'm going to pop you. I'm going to pop you. If you even get there, I'm going to pop you. Because you shouldn't have been touching my ball in the first place. I'm going to pop you. The second one, same situation. Chris Houston catches it. He runs down the sideline. He's so close to the sideline that all they have to do is really literally touch him, and he falls out of bounds. But nobody seems to get a hand on him. And Robinson, you was balling out last game, but you gave up on that interception. And not only that, you didn't even really give an effort to make the tackle. You just assumed the other guys would make the tackle. You gotta go in there and make that play yourself. Look at me. You gotta go in there and make that play yourself. We're not gonna keep talking about this, okay? You gotta make that play yourself, okay? I had something online, and I didn't notice it during the game. It just showed up online. But one of the things I did see was, I put it up on YouTube actually. It was when Tony Romo and Jerry Jones was on the sideline. And it was the funniest thing because I didn't really get it, and I was like, what's going on? Jerry Jones apparently came down from his private elevator all the way to the sideline like he normally does, but Romo had just thrown his third interception. He was just making Romo mad, it seems. Jerry went down there clapping his hands. I don't know what he's clapping for, but he's clapping his hands, and Tony Romo was over there throwing a hissy fit. He's just like knocking down stuff. Being a whiny baby, I would be a whiny baby too, but he's doing his thing. He's doing his due diligence, and Jerry Jones comes over, and he kind of grabs him by the arm like this, and Tony's like, "What you did with me, man? What's wrong with you? Don't grab my arm like this. Don't ever grab my arm. I'll kill you." That's what his face looked like.
I don't think he said that though.
But I just wanted to share that with y'all because I know a lot of people probably didn't see that. And then it's not something they showed on NFL Network or the NFL.
Yeah, you had to see it right then and there.
But I was just looking at YouTube and it just came up, man. It just came up. So next week we have a bye. I'm just going to ask a question. We just lost to Detroit. We just blew the biggest lead in NFL history. Okay, so I'm not very proud about that. We have a lot of records for a lot of things, but we just blew that. But my question is, what do you think we should be doing right now? I know as far as preparing for New England, I know West is coming to town, or we're going to their town with Tom Brady, all that, good boo. But you know, guys usually they usually take a day off. And, you know, maybe they take
Ain't
4
no
days.
days off.
Maybe they take 4 days off. What do you think we should do?
Go in 1,000. Act like we want this win. Act like we can get it together. Actually, I think we're gonna have people coming back that were injured. So I think that'll be a really really good thing. A lot of practicing, of course. I don't know. I think that maybe as as a team, maybe we should put more pressure on Tony as he's practicing and just see what we can progress with. Because those interceptions are just, and we got to work on those play calls. We have to work on those play calls, and we have to get Tony to actually sit down and think about what he's doing and not just have his reactions be the first thing. He has to think about that stuff.
Sometimes I really feel like Tony's is sitting on the bench and he's just like questioning, like these bubbles just come on his head. Like I don't know, like are you all there, Tony? Is the question. Are you ready? That's the last question I'm gonna ask you, and you're gonna prove it to me when we play the Patriots. You're gonna answer my question. Are you ready? I believe you're ready, but it's not what you want. It's what you can do. It's time to take a look outside the league and see what's been going down. I'm really impressed with Aaron Rodgers. 4-0. Not only 4-0, but handling the media. Can you repeat? Can you do this? I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you are balling.
With a capital B.
Okay? You went in there and you tagged that. Okay? You tagged that. Anytime you score 49 points, you tagged that. You was balling. And I appreciate your efforts in balling. Okay? I appreciate your efforts in balling.
It's a long season. You got to keep balling now. Got a lot of games.
And Minnesota. This is one of those games that it just makes you scratch your head. Kansas City, 0-3. Minnesota, 0-3. Both teams just playing like high schoolers. Or, matter of fact, junior high schoolers, because they both look so bad. They go in there and they look bad even playing each other. Like that's how bad they were. I mean, how do you look bad playing each other? One team has to look good playing against another bad team, but they were just equally bad together. Minnesota won. Needless to say, Minnesota won. No, Minnesota lost. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wouldn't even look. That's how much I didn't
waiting on you to get it right.
Minnesota lost, which brings me to my next question. Should Leslie Frazier be fired?
I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to the media.
I don't
ever want to put anybody's careers in my hands. Like it can't only be him.
Leslie, you're fired.
Okay, Donald Trump.
Get off my show. You're fired.
Okay, moving on.
Matchups for next week. Okay, the Cowboys are on the bye week. We're not playing. Let's talk about a matchup that I'm in particularly interested in seeing. The matchup is against Detroit and Chicago. Detroit, you balling out. You came into Texas. You showed us what you were made of. I don't like it, but you did what you did. And, Chicago's talking about they're the team to beat. So let's see what you got. I got my money on Detroit. Not just because they beat us, but because I know that they balling. Okay? Yeah. They are balling. When you come out and you score like you score, you balling. I got my money on Detroit.
I agree.
Another matchup I'm looking at is Green Bay and Atlanta. Now, it's been all this talk about last year, Ronnie Brown and all this other stuff, Ronnie White and all this stuff. But Aaron Rodgers, you're balling out also. I'm just going to put a collection of people who ball out, and I'm going to put them in a box. Green Bay. Well, that's all the time we have. Again, I'm your host, Spud. This is my co-host, Shay.
Until next week.
You're talking with the Cowboys and the belt. Wow.